So you came to another country by yourself, and the first place you came was Iowa.
Well, I didn't know that all of America wasn't like one big place.
I completely understand.
Dude, I didn't know. When I went to college, I went to a school in New Hampshire, and I'm like, oh.
He didn't know where
It's New
Iowa
Hampshire.
was.
Yeah.
I was just like, dope. Check it out. Can't wait to go into the city.
It's new.
Yeah,
Something
Manchester,
new.
New Hampshire. There's no city. I was like, what the fuck is this? When I
Yeah.
moved to L.A.,
There's a circle.
I never came to visit before I came. I'm like, can't wait. It's going to be like
Me either,
New
yeah.
York or Boston. I'm like, this is a giant suburb.
It's
Where's
a
the
giant
city?
suburb.
Yes.
You know what? When I first used to visit LA, it felt so alien and weird. It was always hot, deserty, like places that are Chinese restaurants and donut shops. You know? Like,
Yes, everywhere out here.
Weird.
It is weird.
But
That
now
is a-
I love it here.
Me too. Me too. That is a crazy crossover. I've never understood that.
Just bought a dozen glazed. Some egg rolls.
Yeah. I think it's just like, you know, it's efficient. You're casting a wide net. And you're like, we're getting the people who want either of these.
Yeah.
For a place that's so worried about the way you look, there's a lot of fucking donut shops.
Yeah.
around.
Tons.
A lot of donuts.
You know, I
right.
grew up in one.
What?
I grew up. My grandfather had a bakery, so I had donuts like on the reg as a kid.
How is it still going?
No.
The donut store?
Yeah. The donut store.
What was it called?
Holiday Bakery.
I remember this is gonna be okay. So when we would visit, like when we would go to Singapore, that was like the it's pretty westernized over there. They have a McDonald's, so we would go and we would eat donuts, and we were like, this is the best.
Well, how close to home was that?
That would be like flying it's probably like a 2.5 hour flight. So,
So
it would
was
be
this
like
vacation for you guys?
vacation.
Okay, yeah.
So it's cheap. My aunt lived there. They had McDonald's. You know, it's heaven. So it's sort of like it would be like flying from here to like
Seattle.
Seattle, exactly. Not that far. America's so fucking big. That's
Yeah,
like
I know.
you
Yes.
fly over 4 countries to get to New York.
Yeah.
So this donut shop opened, and it was called Donut Shop, and we were very excited. But it was the first one, so they didn't quite know what to do with the donuts.
Shut.
So they had all of these. There was one called I don't know why they had donuts, and the donuts were delicious. But they had one called a Dogat. It was Dogat, Dogat, and it was a donut that then they put like mayonnaise and chicken and stuff on it.
What?
So and it just looked like a dessert, like it
Yeah.
was like a donut sundae. Looks
Yeah.
delicious. So I got it. It was called a Dogat, and I bit into it, and I was like, "Is this fucking chicken?" So it was like chicken and mayo, and they were like, "I don't know what to do with this."
It's not like a trendy place that's doing like a burger with donut instead
No,
of a
no,
bun. No, they were just like, this might work.
What about this? Yeah, it was a trendy place, but the Dogat was a big misstep.
Big misstep. I had bad donuts this weekend, I was telling you guys. And there was a place by my house called Spud Nut, and all the flour was potato flour.
Oh, and it was what? That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah, like you never had like potato bread.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Martin's
great.
potato rolls.
Yeah, you love them.
Love them. They don't have them out here on the West Coast, but they don't crumb. It's amazing. And one I'll never forget, my friend
they're
Shannon.
so
one night-
moist?
No, I don't know why. They're
If you think of what
they're
potato
a
looks
solid
like,
bun.
yeah. If you think of what potato looks like and what flour looks like, it makes sense that something from a potato would be, you know,
Yeah.
We were
have
out.
more integrity.
We were out drinking all night. And more integrity.
This,
yes,
this
it
bun's
does.
not going to let you down. Yeah.
yeah.
We were out drinking all. We had been out for hours and hours, and we're hungry at the end of the night. And I was like, "You hungry? You want to get something?" He's like, "I'm cold." He reaches in his jacket pocket. It's been there all night. And he pulls out a potato roll and he starts eating it. And I just started laughing. I'm like, "They don't crumb." He goes, "They don't crumb."
They don't
That's
crumb.
so awesome.
That's a commercial for him. One.
They don't
Two,
crumb.
that selfish son of a bitch. What, he just brings it for himself?
I'm like, "Can I get the bottom of that roll,
Here
man?"
you go.
Shit, come on.
Here's one for you.
God.
But you said you had a cake donut.
Yeah, cake
Those are
donuts.
not real
They
donuts.
suck.
No,
Cake
you want the
donuts
ones
suck.
that...
Even if I'm hungry and someone has those cake powder donuts, chocolate or white powder, I don't even fuck. I'm like, whatever. I'm
Because
not
it's
that
not
hungry.
even the correct texture of a
No.
cake. It's like a cake that's gone bad. It's like a crouton to bread.
It is.
Yeah,
different.
it
Although
is.
I do like the original donut, you know, like the cake one that's just brown. You know the one I'm talking about?
I know.
Old-fashioned. At Dunkin' Donuts, it's an
chocolate
old-fashioned.
glazed.
Oh, okay.
Just chocolate glazed. I don't need to get crazy.
Yeah, chocolate.
Are you a
glazed.
Dunkin' Donuts guy?
I love
I
Dunkin'
love
Donuts.
Dunkin'
Oh,
Donuts.
okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
We can't get it.
Krispy Kreme is really fucking good too.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme is good. We've talked about this before because they cornered the market on getting it out hot and fresh.
Yeah.
Any donut made at the first batch that comes out from any donut place USA is just as good as Krispy Kreme. It's after those things sit there all damn day long. You're like, yeah, it's all right.
We were in London last year, and we went to Harrods, and Harrods is like the
been
big,
there.
the crazy. You know,
You can buy an elephant there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a crazy, like, super rich, expensive place. The Queen shops there. You know, like when Oprah goes.
It's like a superstore that has everything, right?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that how
like
you
a-
describe it?
Yeah, and I was at the this
Got an
one.
elephant section. That's what you're telling me.
They've got an
can.
elephant section. You could get everything, but like super expensive, super nice.
Yeah.
Like I
Oh,
saw
y'all
this.
keep giraffes.
I saw this one store that had like 100,000-pound cell phones. Like, have you seen those
What?
things?
No.
They have these cell phones that are like they have like gold and diamonds and stuff on them, but they're not like fucking smartphones. They're like old.
Oh, like the old brick.
Yeah. But they're like 100,000. Taking a picture of one. I got kicked out of that store.
Really?
Yeah, you can't take pictures in the whole place.
No, so it's like super nice and expensive, but they have a Krispy Kreme there because it's considered like very nice, like high-end dessert over there. And there were all these like rich old British ladies waiting in line to get Krispy Kreme.
White trash.
$2,000 for a dozen.
Yeah.
When they put a Krispy Kreme in back home, my mother and her friends would do the same thing. I'm like, I remember one time visiting, I'm like, are you going to come to the show on Friday night? And she's like, I'm not going to come on Friday. The girls and I are going to go get donuts at Krispy Kreme, and then we're going to a movie. And I was like, what? She's like, they give you donuts while you wait in line. Because that's what they do. When you're sitting waiting in line, they'll be like, oh, here's a fresh one.
Really?
Boom.
I've never been inside. You get a free donut just for waiting in line?
I mean, maybe this was their scam when they just moved in, but
Yeah.
when they
Oh,
were coming
man.
hot out of the oven, they're just like, oh, throw Krispy Kreme in
Here's
that
what you're
chick.
about
She's
to
waiting.
have. That's
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
You know what place is okay? Yeah, I do love Dunkin' Donuts. I just went to. I've spent done a bunch of spent a bunch of time in Portland, and there's this ice cream place there called Salt and Straw, and it's like some of the best ice cream I've ever had. They have like normal flavors, but they also have like crazy. Like they have a pear and blue cheese that'll change your
Whoa.
life, you know. But right here in LA, they just opened a. Do you know Jones on 3rd? You know what
Yeah.
that is?
Oh, yeah.
Go in there, and they have a little Salt and Straw thing, and they have 6 flavors, and it's fucking
Is
amazing.
it fresh or is it like packaged already?
No, I think they make it there.
Ooh.
And
Really?
they've only had it like it just opened like a month ago. It's amazing.
How did you find out?
Well, because I was sort of missing Salt and Straw, and Emily, we're going to Portland in a couple of days, so Emily just like tweeted excited to eat at this place, and they tweeted at Emily, and they were like, "Hey, we have one in LA."
And
So
you
we
lost
just-
your mind.
I lost my mind. I went, and it was so. I'm about to cry talking about this ice cream. I had the sea salt and caramel.
I love sea salt and caramel.
Yeah. Are we saying caramel or caramel? What's
I'm caramel.
Caramel, right?
I'm caramel.
Yeah, caramels are a different thing. I've had this debate before: caramel and caramel.
Oh, caramel are the little like toffee
Yes,
things.
I don't
or
know the
whatever.
difference. If anyone knows the difference, let us know because I don't know the difference.
With the white thing in it. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Oh, the white.
but I know what
thing.
you're
That's-
talking
I
about.
don't. You know what?
What
I
is
like.
that?
There's a
made of?
cow tail or
Yeah,
something
cow
like that.
tail or something. I like the caramel around that. I don't fucking care for the cow tail part or whatever
What
the white
is
part.
it?
I don't
It's
know.
no
like
idea.
Just a block of sugar. It feels like
It's like it's gross.
It
Yeah,
is
no, it's
gross,
horrible.
unnecessary.
I was never ever into those. I've never been into snow caps. I don't know anybody that's into snow caps.
Bit of honey.
All that shitty I hate the peanuts, those fucking things.
Any candy outside of a Snickers that has peanuts in, I'm usually out.
I like Mary Jane's and bit of honeys. I like
I like a
both
bit of
those.
honey for sure.
You like Mary Jane?
Yeah.
Remember the peanut butter chews with the
I don't
little
like a
girl
Payday,
on it?
though.
You remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
yeah,
those.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like either.
Did you
of
go
those.
crazy over candy? Did you have good candy growing up as a kid?
We had great candy because British chocolates are like
Okay, he lights up. He's excited. about
really
it.
fucking good. They're really good.
British chocolate's good.
Real good. And they're like big over there, you know, like they get a lot of Swiss chocolate and stuff. So we had like British companies who had like Pakistani branches because, you know, they used to run us. So we would get like really good. Like the baseline here is Hershey's. Their Hershey's is Cadbury's, and it's way better than Hershey's.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
good. But the best chocolate here is, you know, as good as anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, Hershey's is my staple.
Yeah.
I don't ever like a chocolate candy bar. I don't want a chocolate candy bar. I usually want it with a little jazz, you know? I want a little something with it, a little caramel, maybe a little nougat.
Get
but
some nuts.
every
yeah.
now and then
Nougat?
I was going to nougat, man.
Get some
What do you
nougat.
think's in a Milky Way, man? It's nougat.
It's liquid nougat.
It's nougat, and that's also what's in a
Made
Snickers.
out of yogurt.
Nougat. Anyway, every now and then a Hershey's, you just go straight at it, and you're like, God damn, this is good.
I like Crunch. I like Kit Kat.
Yeah, Kit Kat.
I like
You
a
have
little-
good white chocolate Kit Kat.
You know the
Not a fan signal?
No.
the cookies and cream thing that Hershey's makes, the white chocolate thing with the cookies in it. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallits. I liked whatchamacallits.
Yeah.
I never.
But Reese's peanut butter cups. That's it. I'm that simple. That peanut butter and that. We've talked about this with Todd Glass. That peanut butter and that chocolate's money.
Yeah, that is good.
I am so hungry right now.
Right.
I mean, I could eat.
We've talked about donuts and chocolate.
So actually, I wanted to ask you. So you come to the United States at 18 years old, and are you going? Did you go to University of Iowa? Like what
No,
was it? School in Iowa, or is that you were just like Iowa? We're going to Iowa.
No, I went to a small school called Grinnell. It's a small liberal arts school. It's in a town of 9,000 people, a town called Grinnell. But we would drive to Iowa City to like see movies and stuff because our theater sucked and it was closed.
But how'd you pick that college?
I didn't know what Iowa was like, so I just looked at the top, liberal arts schools, like rankings, and I just applied to like 10 of them. And that was the highest ranked one I got into.
And did you graduate from there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So you stuck it out. What was your first job when you came to the States? Like, what did you do for money when you first started working?
At college, I worked, in the cafeteria. I was like washing dishes and stuff.
Did you?
It's terrible.
I can't imagine it's great.
People are monsters. They'll just take stuff just to have me clean it. Like there'll be like pudding and bits of chicken and like seeds from watermelon, like all
and
in
wrapped
the
in
same,
a donut.
Wrapped in a donut. Well, if it was a donut, I'd eat it. But it was so horrible. It was a terrible job. The worst job there was the pots and pans, which is you have to wear these huge gloves and fucking scrub down.
Down.
That was the bad one. Never had that.
You know, I took one of my first jobs when I was out here. I was working in restaurants, obviously, but then I got this PA gig, and I was like production assistant, and it was on a cooking show. And the guy who was
Which one?
It wasn't. It was like a Wolfgang Puck. It was going to be. This was like first when the web. They were like, "What can we do with the web?"
Okay.
And so they're making this online cooking show where basically the chef makes you Wolfgang's recipe, so you cook along or something like that. I was just doing dishes all day, and it was in this old restaurant in Beverly Hills that was closing down. So now they're renting it to do this thing. And the kid that was producing it was like 27, okay? And he thought he had made it. He had me take 2 club chairs that were in the lounge and use a rope, get him up to the roof of the building, and he would sit on the roof of the building and have meetings and be like, look at that. That's CAA. That's ICM. Where are we? In the middle. I'm like, this guy's losing his mind. He was a douche. There was like one day he was like, hey, he goes, hey, go take my Rover. He had a Range Rover. He goes, take the Rover, get it cleaned, and then go pick up this guy. He's going to come shoot a documentary on the project for him. I'm like, all right. I go pick this kid up. I go up to this mansion way up in the hills, and he's living in the guest house. And he's this Argentine kid. He's super eccentric, and he had locked himself out of can't get in the guest house. We shimmy a window. I get him in, take him back. We're getting along real well. So he's doing the rest of the day he does the doc, right? He's interviewing people. I'm just a PA, so there's nothing really I can do. I hadn't even started getting into comedy yet. I was just taking acting classes. And he's like, hey, this other girl who was like the sister of one of the producers who had like a big title, even though she wasn't doing shit.
Yeah.
They're like, she wants to be an actress too. What if I come in the kitchen and I'll just like, you guys can riff and do some like kind of improv thing?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
And I'm like, all right. And so I'm
He
sitting there
said, all right.
doing dishes. I got a huge pot, just like you're talking about, giant pot in the sink. And we're going back and forth, improving, doing jokes. And it's like I was looking at the scene in front of me, and like it was like I was looking on a TV screen at myself and her. And on the right, there would be like jokes 1 through 3. Like I had them set up, and then I would like deliver one and she'd feed back, and it'd go boom, and I go right to the next one. You know what I mean? It was so weird. It was like, God, this is amazing how this is working. And then all of a sudden, like I had 3 ready to go, and I told one, and then the other 2 shuffled up, but a third didn't fill in behind it, And I did the next one, and the other one moved up.
Looking at that the whole time, panicking.
And I'm like, where are my jokes, man? This is my turn.
Who's running the teleprompter, man?
And so then I go through the third joke, and
Who's giving you the jokes?
No, I'm just seeing
in
this
your
in my head.
You're fucking killing.
I'm killing, dude. I'm in.
Yeah, he's about to kill himself with it.
I missed.
Yeah.
I get to the third one done. Boom. She comes back to me again. I have nothing.
And she's good.
And she's good. Everything's good. I give my last joke. She comes back at me. I have nothing. I just look at her, look at the camera, look at that giant pot of dirty water, and I just dunked my head in it. I just went boom and dunked my whole head.
That's when you knew you'd be a comedian.
That's when I knew. And I came up, and he just goes, "It's brilliant! It's brilliant!" Freaking out. I ruined the lav. The lav was broke for the day. They can only do one shot.
Everyone has to stand under booms all day.
Exactly.
Do you have a favorite job outside of comedy that you've had?
You know, I mean, washing dishes was shitty, and then I worked at computer labs, and that was shitty, and then I worked at the University of Chicago for 6 years, and
At where in Chicago?
University of Chicago.
Oh.
Not their fault, but I've never been unhappy. Now, when I look back, I'm like, I don't know how I got through the day. Just like miserable. You know that gross thing that people are like, thank God it's Friday. That fucking feeling of oh, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Monday.
Did you have that all the time?
All the time. And then I would look forward, like if it was a 3-day weekend coming up in like a month.
Were you doing comedy at the same time?
I was.
Okay.
I was also burning the candle at both ends. I was going out till like 3, 4 a.m. and then, you know, I had to be at work at 9. I was getting written up all the time.
You getting written up?
Yeah, dude. My boss was a fucking horrible human being. And she had what she did. Everyone hated her, and she was my boss, so she like picked me as like her ally. So we were sort of like together, but I was like, this woman is crazy. So one day she leaves work. She would do that.
He's playing
move.
both sides.
Yeah,
man.
I tell you.
I wasn't even.
I'm going to
fucking-
write you up, and I want to know what Karen's doing.
Well, this was before she would wake me up. You know, she would like protect me and shit.
Oh,
And
okay.
she would do that move where if she like got into if she got into a fight with her boss, she'd come in the next day wearing like a nice suit and be like, "Hey, I have to go to the dentist." Like pretend that she had fucking interviews and stuff, you know. So one day she did that. She's like, "I have to go to the dentist," and she just left. So I waited a couple of hours. It was 3 p.m. on a Friday, and I went and I walked, and I was waiting for the bus. As I was waiting for the bus, I saw her drive by. I'm like, I think that was her. I went home. Monday rolls around. She's like, come into my office. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, when did you leave? I was like, you know, I stayed till 5. I mean, I left right at 5. It's Friday, so, you know, usually I stay till 5:30.
Thank God it was Friday.
But thank God it's Friday, so I left at 5. She's like, you're lying. I'm like, no, I'm not. She's like, I saw you standing there. I'm like, oh, yeah, I just was going to get some food, and then I was just heading back, and she's like, I called, and I checked. So she fucking called to say I wasn't there, and then my life was hell after.
Really?
It was...
Alliance broken, man.
Turned on you like that because
Oh,
she was
yeah.
worried you were going to rat her out, probably.
She was just bad. You know, like she
Yeah.
was in her 50s. She hadn't, whatever. But so if I was at work at 9:05, it was bad. Like I remember I would walk in and it was raining and I like got paper towels in the bathroom to like dry my hair so that she didn't know that I'd been out, that I was late.
Scared.
I was so scared. I lived in fear for 6 years. And I would do shows at night, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. The job was, eventually they put me at a school, like University of Chicago ran these schools, you know, so I worked for an organization that did like education research, and then they would enact it in these schools, these charter schools, and their whole thing was technology. So it was a middle school, so it was all these kids had a computer. They all got an iBook. All of them. And these
Whoa.
were like, this is the south side of Chicago, so these are kids who aren't that well-to-do.
Yeah.
So suddenly they have these computers, and my job was to keep these computers straight, make them all run. It was me, 300 computers, kids who'd never seen a computer. I remember once this girl was like, our rule was that if it was their fault, they had to pay $100 to fix it, otherwise I'd fix it for free. And she came in and she's like, hey, my computer's not working, and I opened it, and it was like soaking wet, like someone had dunked it in water.
Yeah.
And I was like, what happened? She was like, I was just using it out in the rain. I'm like, all right, that's $100. She's like, no, I didn't make it rain. God made it rain. So it's not my fault. That kind of shit. And I was so
And you're like,
bad
you
at
believe
this
in
job.
God?
Yeah, there is no God. First of all, there is no God.
Even though it says it on the money I need from you.
And I was so bad, and the kids liked me, so they would give me the computers. I had no idea how to fucking fix them. I would just hide them around my office, you know, like different parts. And then
Oh, so you didn't? You were faking it the whole way?
most of it, I was faking it. I didn't know what I was doing.
But
I
like, fucking
remember
Atari chip in it and shit.
it was hard, man. Remember when those computers would go bad? I don't know if you ever saw this, but it would just be like a Mac face with a question mark on it. And I would just sit at my computer Googling like Mac face question mark fix.
Oh, my
Enter.
God.
No idea what I was doing. And then I remember when I gave my 2 weeks notice, and I was like, I just have to last 2 weeks without them finding out.
Hell yeah.
And then I just fucking left. Didn't answer any emails or phone calls, and the program went under within a few months.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I just have been like sort of
Collapsed.
kept it
You
running
collapsed
with
it.
duct tape,
Yeah.
and then people came in with like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Whoa.
Oh, can't you search Google?
I was
He
getting
did.
kids' computers, fixing it, giving it to the wrong kid. Like it was a mess. I
They
feel
open up a
bad.
closet. They're like, what is
Said he feels bad.
It really was.
Oh.
It was like just stacks of computers. Stacks of
Were
computers.
you more fearful doing that than working for the chick?
Well, they were nicer, but I had less handle on what I was doing.
Yeah.
The other one, I knew what I was doing.
More lies to cover up.
They're like, these
More
inner city
lies.
kids are doing terrible on their tests. We got them all tablets.
Yeah, what is happening?
who's in charge of that over there?
IT guy over there.
Kumail, get in here, man.
I quit.
And that was it for work for you, huh?
Yeah, so that was 6 years, 6 fucking years. And I felt bad because the people I was screwing over later were nice. Most of them were nice, and then the I was doing a good job for the woman who was horrible. So that's to be an asshole. People will work better.
Yeah. You fake it till you make it, or you fake it till you quit.
I faked it till I quit, and the hard thing was. My work visa is tied to these people. So if I get fired, I'm on a boat to Pakistan.
Oh,
so the
shit.
stakes are very high.
Now it's a boat. Poor Kumail has to take a boat back now.
That's the rules, man.
They have a Krispy Kreme on this boat, man.
No Krispy Kreme.
No.
You get one. So the stakes are very high, and then I, fell in love with an American, married her, said fuck you to him, and moved to New York.
Yeah, you did.
Worked out great.
Worked out really great for you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's where we met in New York.
Yeah.
You didn't have any, you just went straight to comedy while you were there.
Yeah, I didn't have a job then. I'd been saving up money for years for this move. So I moved there with a good amount of money. I cashed in my retirement at the University of Chicago. And I went all in. Like, if this
I'm
doesn't
retiring, motherfuckers. I'm
was
out.
like-
You quitting? What are you gonna do? I'm retiring.
I'm
man.
work,
retiring.
yeah, I mean,
Cash the shit in.
I've got $25,000, so I should be okay for the rest of my
For
life.
the rest of my life, yeah.
Should be okay.
Be all right.
3 months later in New York, because we got to New
Right,
York
yeah.
with $25,000, no job, me and my wife in fucking New York City.
Yeah.
We lived like kings for 3 months. We ran through it so fast.
You were like the dudes in Ghostbusters, and they're like, "How much money we got left?" They're like, "This is it, man." And they're eating a petty cash fund.
Yeah, we blew through that.